one, the only. I'm here at Mingus Park. I'm taking off my jacket. It's too sexy for my jacket right now. A little too sexy for it. And we're here at the park. We're going to talk a little bit investing. We're going to do a show. I figured I haven't done an outdoor show in a little bit. I obviously don't do a lot of outdoor shows, but I just realized I got something in my nose, so I got to pick my nose real quick. But yeah, no, I figured I was like, I gotta get outdoors. I gotta go live. I gotta do this. Also makes me feel good. Ain't gonna lie, I feel really good whenever I do lives outside. First off, I need the sunshine. It's warm out here, actually. Shockingly, I mean, it was direct sun, blue skies. I mean, obviously, you get in the shade, it's gonna feel pretty cold. There are cold gusts of wind out here at Mingus Park, which to be expected, of course. But welcome to the show, everybody. I'm excited, man. I'm excited. As you all know, I love doing this show. I love getting out here, getting out at the park, chilling out, doing my thing. But yeah, if you guys could tap the subscribe button, though. The more subscribers we get, the better. It does help us out on the YouTube algorithm, so do what you can and stay sexy. But yeah, we're live here at the park. Figuring I'd end the month strong. Hope everybody, to those of you who are just tuning in after Thanksgiving, I hope you guys had an incredible Thanksgiving. I had a pretty good weekend overall. I spent a lot of time with family, and I finally have a little bit of downtime for now. I'm trying to focus more on the streaming and the show, and the show's been doing really well, which is really cool. Been able to make short videos and stuff. I realized I need to start shaving. I was like, oh my god, my actual beard is coming in. Holy smokes. Yeah, I need to shave. Also need to shave my pubes. You gotta do that, man. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. But welcome one and welcome all to the show. Let me see if I can angle this a little bit better. I realize the sun's kind of hitting, but I really do want to have that sunshine on my back. So I might try to talk to you guys from this angle, but then again, it might just be better to talk to you guys from this angle. Feeling good though, feeling good. I feel like I'm glowing. So what's going on, everybody? Yeah, no, the show surprisingly is going really well. I will say, with all the subscribers we've been getting, it's really helped the channel in a lot of ways. Jim Marcello says, good luck. What up, Jim? Yep, chilling out here at the park. We're not doing anything too crazy at the park. No frosting or anything. No blue frosting, no red frosting. I thought about it. I really thought about bringing down the red frosting at the park, but I didn't, sadly. I know, I'm disappointing my boy Dog Eat Dog, by the way. Dog Eat Dog really loves the blue. In fact, my boy Dog Eat Dog, he gets blue if I don't have the blue on me, right? Poor guy. He relies so heavily on the blue. But yeah, this is the show. This is the Michael Garza Show. The clownery. The tomfoolery. Crow Macaw. What's going on, my brony brother? How you doing, man? We all bronies up here. Not really. I'm not a brony. But I pretend to be. But hola, Mr. Crow Macaw. But yeah, I'm here at the park, chilling out, listening to the ducks, feeling good. But yeah, I just figured, I was like, well, I want to go to the park and I want to just chill. I want to get some sunshine. Walked around a bit yesterday. Pretty cool. But I was like, I need to chill. I need to chill out here in the park and feel very good about my brony self. So my brony self decided I'm going to hang out down here. My usual spot, very concealed spot at the park, by the way. It's a very, yeah, what up, ET, my boy? I see you. I feel you. I feel you, my boy. This is great, though, man. The more people we have coming into the chat, though, I always appreciate it. So keep it up, my brony brothers. But, yeah, we got Chroma Ka, we got Jim Marcello, we got ET. We got everybody. We got the bronies, dude. The real bronies. But make sure you guys tap the subscribe button, though. It does help the channel grow in many ways, more ways than one. We got Song Jones saying my favorite Oompa Loompa hybrid. Thank you. I appreciate that, Song Jones. And Chroma Ka is smoking. Okay, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that on air because I know how YouTube is about the weeds. Don't worry, I'm not a big smoker myself. I used to like the ciggies, but I don't smoke those anymore either. Admittedly, I do drink though. Not a lot, but I do drink. Celibacy is really hard. So yeah, get it. You know, if you got to be celibate, you got to be celibate. You got to do what you got to do, dog. You know, I get it. You got to do what you got to do. YOLO. Major General Tao just gifted a membership to Shubra. Interesting. Hell yeah. Hey, thank you, Major General Tao, for the gifted membership. Obviously, we always appreciate it on this show. It helps the channel grow, and it helps get us a few new members that we hadn't had before. So, more people, the better. Thank you, my brony brother. I appreciate it, man. I also want to thank my boy, Stroker Golf, at Stroker Golf, by the way. Major General Tao says, I'm on the roof repairing some tiles. Well, be careful up there, man. Don't let me distract you. Don't let me distract you, man. If you're on the roof repairing some tiles, brother, you know, I mean, if this channel helps, if you're just listening to this show like it's a radio station, that's fine. That's kind of what this show is meant to be. It is not really meant to be watched, but more meant to be heard, sort of like a podcast. But this is more like an AM radio talk show than anything. It's kind of what I was inspired by, was all the AM radio talk shows that I listened to when I was younger. Like Phil Hendry and, let's see, Phil Hendry was my main boy. I liked a little bit of Coast to Coast AM. That was pretty good. But definitely Phil Hendry was my guy. What up, batshit crazy? Major General Tao says, I'm on audio only, saying hi. Hey, I appreciate it, brother. Appreciate it. Yeah, as long as you're keeping focused on your task, man, that's all I care about. I just don't want to see anybody get hurt, you know. I say if you're doing a dangerous job, probably best not to listen to this, but I understand if you want to. That's always anybody's, you know, choice, anybody's prerogative there. But, you know, just be careful. I'm assuming you're taking all the safety precautions while you're up there, so the bare minimum, take the safety precautions. No shame in that, you know. But it's good to see all my bronies out there. ET says ET says this. ET is saying, I ended up quitting my job so I could watch her live. Major General Tao says skill reduces risk. For sure. But just in case, even if you're skilled, man, you know, accidents happen, you know. Even the most skillful of people can still make mistakes. You know, so still take the safety precautions when you're on the roof, okay? That's all I ask. But, you know, you understand your risk profile better than I would think of mine. I'm not a big fan of heights. Um, yeah, not a big fan. I can handle them a lot better than I used to, though, for sure. Let's see. Major General Tao says skill reduces risk for sure. Yep. But ET, what you went? So you ended up quitting your job so you could watch my live. May I ask what inspired you? I hope you're joking, by the way. And if you're not, well, I guess I'm flattered to some degree, but also concerned for your well-being. Yeah. Now, I love doing this show, though. Like I said, I definitely was inspired by a lot of the AM radio guys that I used to listen to when I was younger, and lots of cool dudes. Amazing dudes, actually. Just how skillful they were at what they did. It was really fun. Oh. But yeah, no, skill definitely reduces risk, without a doubt. So I get that, for sure. Major General Tao says, "Are you a member of the Church of Subgenius? Genius? No clue. I have no idea what that is. I don't know if it's like a joke that I'm unaware of, but no clue. Not a clue. Not a clue." But I will say, having a good time out here. So I guess we'll talk about investing a little bit. That's what the show's typically about. A little bit of finance at the park. This is live finance at the park, man. We're doing it. We're doing it live. F it, we'll do it live. Having a good time. This is my favorite spot here at the park because it's so concealed from everybody else. So I kind of just chill out right around here, and yeah, I love it, man. I love it, and being outdoors, there is something about it, man. Crow says yes. Major General Tao says bro mega. I can run like a... Interesting. So Major General Tao says individuals are deflationary and groups are inflationary. That's a good thing because, if you think about it, do groups ever really get anything done? Sure, I will say that individuals working on their individual tasks get things done. So, for example, look at corporate structure, right? Look at corporate structure. Everybody in the corporation serves one purpose or another, right? So, like I think the best thing I could think of would be like a software development team, right? They work as a team, but they don't work in groups, right? This is an important distinction. Everybody thinks teamwork, everybody's got to work together, right here, there, and there. But at the same time, teamwork is actually stupid, right? I'm not a teamwork guy. I like working for a team, but I don't like working in a team. Does that make sense? So my philosophy is working in a team directly sucks. Working in a team that is spread out is perfect if we're all looking towards the same objective goal. Let's say we're making a video game, right? Obviously, you have your software engineers. They do their thing. They program like the battle system for the game. They program the overall mechanics of the game itself. Then you have your graphic designers. But each individual is completely an individual task, right? They're all not working really like together. Like they can see their work, they can see their contributions, and then everything's good, right? And it's a team effort. It's a team effort, yes, but it's a team of individuals making their efforts. So in a sense, individuals, that are all contributing their individual efforts, that matters. And but what I hate is, like, I think when you're in school and you're doing group projects, I think that is a toxic version of teamwork, right? I think, look, teamwork is, they say teamwork makes the dream work. Well, I say teamwork honestly makes nothing work for the most part. I think individuals doing their own individual thing and then occasionally having meetings to get on the right track with the overall goal. That's my belief system there. But yeah, I notice, like, if I work in it, I don't think human beings are meant to work in a group setting, right? Individuals can be people can be task-based creatures. Like, if I am a part of a team and I'm working on a video game, like I said, maybe I'm one of the programmers, right? I have to program certain aspects of the battle system, right? The actual battle engine itself. So I'll be tasked with that, but I'm not going to go off and start, working on the graphical elements. I'm not going to go and work as a team. I'm not going to, you know what I mean? I'm tasked with a specific purpose within this company, right? And I, as an individual, can do this well, right? I, as an individual, with my own abilities and things like that, can do this well. And as long as I know what the goal is, and I know what the parameters are, what some of the limits and what some of the goals are, I could do just about anything, and just as much as anybody else can. The point is, I think teamwork is a very underrated concept, and I think it honestly, when I was younger, I was always suspect of group projects because I don't like group projects. You're probably thinking, well, why would you work for a company then? It's like, well, if I do work for a company, it's not a group project per se. There are groups of people, but they're individuals working on each aspect of the project itself. Does that make sense? I'm not working, like, directly with the other individuals. I'm doing my thing individually, they're doing their thing individually, but it's like putting pieces of a puzzle. It's like creating the pieces for the puzzle, then the puzzle comes together, right? That's how it should be looked at. And instead, I think that, each person has to have their own task, has to have their own purpose within any sort of project. I don't know. I feel like corporations do it right. I feel like public schools do it wrong. And I think if you want to learn how to work with others properly, I think corporations do it pretty well. And it makes it to where the individual can still shine and do what they need to do. And look, I think if you're individual focused more than group focused with your company, with the company itself, if I'm a CEO of a company, I want to make sure that each individual feels empowered to produce at the highest level, right? And not have to rely on others, to do their work for them, I should say. Everybody relies on somebody in some capacity, You can still be an individual, but still be part of the group. But the group's identity should not be more important than the individual identity. And I think that is one thing I will say corporate culture has lost, is that they do tend to make the group identity a little bit too much more important than the individual identity, right? So, I don't know. There are some aspects of corporations that I don't like, some aspects that I do. I think some do it right, some do it poorly. Get a little chilly out here. Get a little windy. Oh, man. I'm going to put my coat on real quick. Oh, my goodness. I got to put my coat on real fast. Gotta get this coat on, man. Woo, it's windy out here. Okay, a little less chilly. Man, my ears are a little cold though, so I think I'll probably put my hood on too. I look like a Jedi, dude. Feeling good though. I look like a rapper right now. Do the impossible, seat the invisible, row, row, fight the power, touch the untouchable, break the unbreakable, row, fight the power. I'm a gangster rapper, and my name is Mikey G, and everybody thinks that I suck on the D. My name is Mikey G, I'm the greatest rapper ever. Everybody knows my rhymes are motherfucking clever. Everybody wants to know what I am. I is the GOAT, I is the GOAT, yeah. I is the GOAT, I is the GOAT, yeah. Everybody sing. My life is brilliant. My love is pure. I saw an angel. Oh, that I'm sure. What's going on, everybody? Woo. Pimp daddy, dude. Pimp daddy. I'm a pimp. Because I'm a pimp. But welcome to the show. So I think one of the main things for me is with investing overall, I can't help but love the game, you know? Because investing, you know, I'm not saying you should gamify it, but for me personally, gamifying it's been very fun. Not financial advice, by the way. And it's, you know, like I said, not financial advice. What would it be the other thing? For educational, entertainment purposes. For entertainment, educational purposes only. Not investment advice. Talk to a financial advisor, though. What up, Samuel Westall? What's up, my brony brother? It's good to see you on here, man. My brony brother. Crow McCaw says, "Run like a gibbon." How about this? I'm gonna walk towards you guys. I don't know what "run like a gibbon" means, Crow Macaw, but I'll tell you what, I will walk like a gangsta G. Because I'm a gangsta G, if you know what I mean. If you know what I mean. What up? We're talking about a little bit of investing here at the park. You know, one of the things I can say is, whew, I'm smelling something smoky out here. I don't know if they're burning something or not, but damn, it smells smoky. Do you guys think I should grow out the facial hair? I realized, so my boy Nathan doesn't believe that I can grow a beard. So I'm thinking I should try to grow out the facial hair. What do you guys think? You guys think that's a good idea or what? Samuel Westall, respect from London. Hell yeah, thank you, brother. My brony, dude. But yeah, we're talking a little bit of finance investing here at the park. I'll probably be down here for a couple hours. You know, why not? As long as the battery's still functioning, I'm still, you know, doing my thing. My thing. I might, after this, probably grab a beer from the convenience store. Normally I don't drink too much, but man, after last night, I drank like, I'm not going to say how much I drank, but quite a bit. I was hanging out with my brother, my dad, and Mr. Slack. And I got to meet my brother's girlfriend. That was really cool. She's very kind. She seems to really enjoy his company, and he enjoys her company. So I think that works. I'm hoping it works. Crossing my fingers here. I care about my brother. I want him to have a happy life if that makes him happy. You know, I want him to have a good life. So I'm always rooting for him. is what I'm trying to say. So I think he'll win the game. He'll win the game of life. And if he ever gets in a shitty situation in life, well, I hope I can help him out in some way, you know. Samuel Westall says, I'm a private investor and a business owner. What a beast, dude. Crow Macaw says, I just want to make more than 20 grand a year. Well, if you have multiple, I will say this, multiple streams of income really help me out. Really, really help me out. When I say multiple streams, a lot of them are passive. But like, dividends, just investments in general, I think are great. And it's a form, and a lot of my income comes from dividend income. I'll tell you that right now. Dividend income, man, helped me out a lot. I love swing trading though. Swing trading one specific ETF, the VT. As much as I love strongman personal finance, I do feel that my boy was slightly incorrect on one factor with his style of investing, and I think that factor is I think you should own every other ETF for the long term and every other individual stock for the long term, and then just swing trade the VT specifically. And the reason for that is you always know what ETF you're going to swing trade, and if you know what ETF you're going to swing trade and what ETFs you're going to hold for the long term, this is why I hold everything else for the long term, but I keep my VT just as a swing tradable asset, whereas everything else is just buy and hold, don't sell. I'm still diversified. I got several international ETFs. I've got several US stock ETFs, but everything else winning, by winning, if anything. Samuel Westall says multiple revenue streams flowing without looking at any charts is his focus. Okay, that's good. Because here's the thing, man. You don't have to be like, what pisses me off is everybody's trying to beat the market, or they're trying to beat all these computers, right? You can swing trade. If you compete, you're always going to lose. That's my motto. If you compete, you're always going to lose, and especially in the investing world. So whenever I play basketball, I'm not competing with everybody else. Obviously, I'm going up against everybody else, but I'm not competing with them in my mind. I am there to score baskets and assist my teammates in scoring baskets, right? And I'm not trying to compete with anybody. I know my skill set, I know what I could do, and I know what I can improve on during the game. But I don't see anybody as competition, ever. Ever. I just don't. That's not the way my mind works, and it's a good thing. Because the fact that I don't see competition means that, one, I can keep improving without always looking over my shoulder. Two, I do tend to be in a league of my own. I also tend to go into things where there's not a lot of competition. I will say, though, YouTube Lives, sure, there's probably a lot of competition in YouTube Lives, for example, but I will say I'm going to stick to who I am, no matter what, because if I try to copy the competition, I'm just going to be a cheap imitation of the competition. If I try to be who I really, really am deep down and not look at anything else, I'll tend to be more original. And originality is more important than trying to copy somebody else. So therefore, if I can actually be me, when I am an enigma, then I can actually kick ass on YouTube, for example. And same with investing. When I'm swing trading, I'm not trying to compete with anybody. I'm just trying to get gains. I'm trying to go for a goal of mine, right? I'm not going to be disappointed if I don't reach the goal. My goal is gains, truth be told, right? But if I don't get gains, I'm not going to cry about it because I am swing trading one of the best ETFs, in my opinion, for equities, and that's the VT. Since it's 60% US stocks, 40% international stocks, I can swing trade those effectively in multiple ways. But yeah, exactly. Buy and hold and don't look back. Hey, catch you later, Mr. Westall. But yeah, multiple revenue streams flowing. Yeah, dividend stocks are great. My whole portfolio is probably, it's dividend heaven, and it's hyper diversified too. So gotta stay diversified, brother. Gotta stay diversified, yo. But yeah, no, diversification is a beautiful thing, man. But yeah, I'll always remain diversified at the end of the day. I think that I would be stupid if I didn't. And one of the things is if I'm going to swing trade any sort of either individual stock or ETF, it's preferably ETF. I think swing trading an individual stock, unless you're already incredibly affluent, is very risky, right? Even if you are incredibly affluent, I still think it's a risky game, to swing trade an individual stock. Even if the stock is battle tested, great. Like if the company's good, sure, great, whatever. But you still can't predict the future. You can't predict what laws are going to come out. You just can't predict a lot. And so it can affect certain things. So if you're swing trading anything, you want to make sure that, that you're at least hyper diversified. I think hyper diversification is great because if I have the VT, which is hyper diversification at the end of the day, I can swing, I can buy low and sell high without thinking about it, right? Because me buying low and then selling high is perfect. It works for my style of investing. I think there are too many people who try to buy the momentum. Now, don't get me wrong. What happens when I'm all out of VT, right? If I trickle sell as it's going up and then I'm down to zero, what then? Well, I just buy 5 more, right? Once I've sold completely out of my entire VT supply, I then buy more, right? So that's the way to do it, at least in my mind. Well, that's the way I see it, at least. But yeah, always going to invest. Always. I'm actually looking for bird nests while I'm up here. Because a lot of these trees, kind of high up. Yeah. Crows are everywhere. Don't worry, I'm not actually after your nests. Calm down. But it is interesting though because you could see that But yeah, I love chilling out here at the park. It's beautiful out here. It really is. And probably gonna get myself a beer here in a little bit. I think that'd be nice. Grab myself a beer. And grab yourself a beer. But yeah, having fun. Swing trading's been great. I love swing trading the Vanguard Total World Index, though. I really do. It's a bit of an obsession of mine, just because it is the safest ETF to swing trade. And honestly, even if a market crashed like heavily, VT is exactly what I would buy on the dip any day of the week. Straight up, VT is for me. Like it really is the greatest. Mainly because it's just safe. I mean, that level of diversification without having to pay an arm and a leg and also being able to swing trade a diversified product like the VT. And the expense ratio is like 0.06%. So literally, for every $10,000 you invest, only $6 of that $10,000 is being used to keep the fund operational. So at a huge scale, I mean, the VT is great. It's an index. So they're just literally indexing the entire world. And I love Vanguard, man. I love how everybody also, it's funny. I love how everybody hates BlackRock, but really, in all reality, BlackRock and Vanguard are actually no different than each other. Like, they're not... do I question some of BlackRock's tactics? Sure. But they're just an asset accumulator, right? So here's the thing for me personally. I'm an asset accumulator because I don't believe in cash. I believe, not just not believe, I just know for a fact that cash has no intrinsic value. Crapto is what I like to call it. Crapto has no intrinsic value either. Let's see. Thork Apabroslan says, I've been mostly just long on Beanie Babies. Once the market gets where I want, then I might change strategies. I hold Beanie Babies instead. Oh, Jesus. You hold Beanie Babies? Oh, come on, man. Come on, man. The world of collectibles confuses me. I think what I'll do instead of getting beer, though, I think I'll just drink a lot of water when I get home. I think that would be probably pretty healthy for me. I think that would be the best thing to do. That's the way I see it, at least. Skid Gear 423 says, hello, Musty. Hello, fellow Musty brethren. Or are you trying to say Mussy? The Mussy magic. Everybody's dissing the Mussy, all right? The Mussy madness, all right? That's what this show's about. Mussy, mussy, mussy. All right? The Mussy. Make sure you guys like the stream, by the way. If you guys don't like it, I ain't happy. I'm a very angry man. My brony brothers. Oh, man. I'm wondering if I should just encourage people to tap the like button on these. You know what I mean? Because I feel if more people liked these, then it might push the show out into the algorithm. Because I've been debating, like, should I do tap subscribe or tap like? What do you guys think? I could put a poll out, actually. So I'm trying to figure out what is, let's see, so Skid Gear is saying you'll be less confused when we have an economic collapse as bro is over here trading Beanie Babies for food, lol. Skid Gear is going to come over there and handpick that booger at your nose, full eye contact. Right here? I think I got it. Hold on. I think I got the booger out of my nose. Oh, well. Hold on. Skid Gear says you could say hit the like if you love Beanie Babies. Good Lord. Good Lord, man. Let's see. Thor Kappa says, I also like Dave & Buster's tokens and tickets as a hedge against inflation. Well, interesting. Well, so make sure you guys vote on the poll if I can, like, keep it in the right spot. There we go. That should be a little bit better. So which is a better call to action? Tap like or tap subscribe? What do you guys like? Yeah, as I'm trying to figure out the best call to action on this show, I don't know if tap like or tap subscribe is better. I'm trying to figure that out. As much as I want more subscribers, it's like, you know, if I were to encourage more people to like the stream, would that be more influential? And I'm starting to think that maybe it would. And maybe I've been going about this the wrong way. And I might even talk to, Chat GPT about it, see what it thinks. Because, like, if I get more likes on the stream, the better. It is one action if I got people to focus on that one action. So Fry from 98 says, like, subscribe, and send this to your boss. What is you? Okay, so I keep seeing this. I don't know what this means. I keep seeing this on streams. What is UW? What does that mean? What does that UW thing mean? I feel like it's some weird code. I don't even know what that means. Like, sincerely, I've got zero clue what that means. Somebody please explain this. As much as I've been trying to get new subscribers, I feel like, as much as I like telling people to subscribe, I think that it might be doing more harm than good. But it also may be doing better than I think it is. I think if I were to get more likes on the stream, I think that YouTube would actually push this out to more people. And also, it would probably help my dislike ratio quite a bit because, not gonna lie, my stream is not always likable, but if I had more people tapping like, it might help. I got a bee. There's a bee. Friggin' bees are trying to get me, man. Yeah, I don't know. It sounds like some e-girl stuff that I'm not aware of, and I don't feel like participating in. Underwater Uber. Skid Gear might be onto something here. Fry from 98. Am I an anime girl? Am I an e-girl? I think I might be an e-girl. I didn't even know it, dude. Okay, so saying like and subscribe actually helps it. So if I say, hey guys, like and subscribe, that actually helps the algorithm. Okay. So Fry from 98 says, you're a mustard man. Yes, I am at this point in my life. I am a little too filled with mustard, if I'm going to be honest. I am the mustard man. I am curious to see how this poll ends up because I may, which is a better call to action? Tap like or tap subscribe? Now, the poll's right there, you guys, in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. So if you guys can, definitely participate. Okay, tap subscribe. Okay, tap subscribe. We got one vote there. You're running late. You're on your way. Thank you, Skid Gear. I appreciate it. You trying to still picking that booger out of my nose, dude? Still picking the burger out of there? Come on, man. Come on, man. But yeah, like and subscribe. Here's the thing, though. I like trying to focus on like one task because I think most people that are gooning on lives, I think that they want to hear only one call to action. So I may switch it up every video, every stream, right? Maybe I'll have tap like, tap subscribe, tap something. I may even vary it up in some of the call to actions on my Nightbot thing. Yeah, the thing is, though, what I'm trying to get, though, is a vast audience, though. And if more people like the stream, I think that the like ratio, because I notice when my like ratio is high on my overall channel, the channel seems to do better, is what I notice. So I'm trying to figure out, are likes because like as much as I want people to come back, yes, I want people to subscribe though if they really want to come back. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So I don't know, but Skid Gear says he's got the worst Thanksgiving leftover farts. Oh Jesus! Come on, Skid Gear. You gotta do better than that, bro. I realize though, after I'm done here, I do need to get some bread, so I'll probably end up walking to my local supermarket and getting some bread, getting like some cheap ass shit, nothing crazy. Skid Gear's my homeboy, dude. Appreciate you, Skid Gear. Dude, I love being outdoors, man. I got to get my neck a little bit of a. Now that bee seems to be gone, I think I could put my hood down. But yeah, a little bit of. Oh, love that feeling of the sun just hitting my hands. I'm gonna go a little bit. It is a little chilly out here, so I definitely got to keep my jacket on a bit, just to keep my arms warm. Yeah, make sure you guys subscribe to @Samuel Westall, man. Hell yeah, what a beast. So I think I am going to try, I'm going to experiment a little bit. I am going to see if I can do, I may go for tap like instead from here on out. I think it's just probably for the best. And because it's one thing that they could try to do. I don't know if it's going to work, but it may backfire. I don't know. But the worst thing I can do is experiment. I do have a lot of subscribers already. And I think if people really do want to be a subscriber, they're going to be it, you know? And I don't want to force this show down anybody's throat, but I do want more viewers. So if I can get more viewers, more likes, it does help the channel in many ways. So more likes, less dislikes, it does affect it in the algorithm itself. Now, we only got one vote on the poll. Make sure you guys cast your vote on the poll, by the way. It's in the upper right-hand corner. Skid Gear 423 just gave me a super chat and says turkey toots. Oh, thank you Samuel Westall. I appreciate it. Yeah, share your channel with whoever, man. I like having a wider audience, man. You never know, a wider audience out there can really help the algorithm or worsen it for me. I don't know, but no, I do. I realize that the more likes we get on the channel, it tends to bleed over in a good way. I noticed that because I noticed my like to dislike ratio was actually slipping a bit, and I think Michael Donaldson says, "Are you finally growing a goatee?" Samuel Westall says, "I'm #1 in Google." Hey, I mean, dude, if you can help this channel grow in any way, I appreciate it, man. Samuel Westall, if you have a way if you're an SEO wizard and you want to try to promote this channel, I'm all for it, man. I'm all about any sort of promotion to the channel. I could do some ASMR videos. That would be true. Maybe I should do some ASMR lives where I just eat crunchy things. You know what I mean? I just maybe I could crunch on ice or something, or, you know, I mean, there's plenty of ways that I can expand this show. I don't like being just a one-trick pony. What is happening? It's just like kids down there or something like that. Yeah, whatever they're doing whatever. No, thank you, Samuel, man. I don't really advertise this show. I just use the magic of the algorithm, and I try to make an entertaining show that people will just want to watch and come back and see. So it's really the goal at the end of the day, and I'm so close to the 10,000 subscriber mark that, you know, I can almost taste it. But I'm also thinking, if I keep telling people to subscribe, you know, is that really helping? And it helps, but I don't want to. I could do tap like and subscribe, but I consider that actually might be worse. Think of it this way: if I tell people to tap like and subscribe, I think it's too many actions, and I think most people will do none. If you're demanding too much out of people, I noticed in a call to action, 2 or more actions I think could be detrimental, where they do neither, right? Oh. Don't know what's happening, but that's all right. Probably having a little celebration. What the heck? Not sure what happened there, but let's see. But thank you, Samuel Westall. I appreciate it. But no Frosty in the park, nothing like that. Major General Tao says, I don't have too much advice, but what I try to do is say, thanks for subbing. Okay, that's not bad. Thanks for subbing. That's a good one. And, I think that here's the thing. I noticed that if I focus on getting likes, I think that focusing on getting likes on the show, I think helps more than focusing on trying to get subscribers. Like I said, I'm going to experiment, because if I get more viewership, first off, that looks better. And as much as I like focusing on subs, I don't know if focusing on subscribers is the best way to go about it. Maybe because I think if you focus on people tapping like, they'll probably end up tapping subscribe. You know what I mean? They'll probably think that tapping subscribe is the equivalent of tapping like. I don't know. Either way, I think that people who like this show will like it for what it is. And maybe that's the type of on their own volition. Now, if I encourage them to tap like, obviously it'll boost me in the algorithm, because then if that one person likes it, then maybe somebody else may like it, and somebody else may like it, and it's kind of a cascading effect. So encouraging people on the call to action, I think, to like might be better. And I'm starting to realize that this might be the way to do it. Let's see. Michael Donaldson said, if you were a beautiful woman, you'd have subscribers. Absolutely, I would. It's proven that a girl on YouTube, which contains 80% men, chances are you are going to have a way easier time getting to 10,000 than I did. And I'm fine with that, man. The struggle to get to 10,000 taught me a lot. Taught me a lot on how to do YouTube in a different way. And, not the same way that everybody else does. Like, if you do it the same way everybody else does, you don't stand out. I've learned how to kind of stand out in my own way. Yeah. So ET says, nope, you're supposed to tell everyone not to like and subscribe. Okay, that's fair. Skid Gear says video gaming-ish type of content. That could help, There's a lot of gamers out there on the tubes. So yeah, I could see that being a thing. Sure. Hold on. Oh, I think they're doing a piñata over there. Okay, I didn't realize, but there's I think there's an actual birthday party that's going on down there. Crazy. That's funny. Let's see. So ET's wondering, how do you think the zombie guy keeps getting subs? So I think the zombie guy is actually brilliant, by the way. I mean, I think his show content is not my kind of content personally, but he knows that he's rage baiting in a lot of ways. So when you rage bait an audience, like, how I rage bait you guys quite a bit. I would say one of the reasons I have an audience is because I'm good at making people mad, right? So when you're good at making people mad, they do tend to stay only to hate on your content. Look, some people are easy to like and some people are easy to hate. And I think that I'm easy to hate. I can say one wrong thing and people will hate me. And that is completely hilarious to me. So I try to do everything not by the book. So whatever the book of society tells me to do, I'm just like, screw it. Nope. For the most part, I say that. But yeah, it turns out that I'm a better person for not copying what everybody else does. Skid Gear says, or the type of content where you find interesting videos on YouTube and you just kind of chat through it with us, like true crime or some recent event. Interesting. Yeah, I kind of like what Asmund Gould does. Asmund Gould is probably one of my favorite reacting streamers. He's fun. Eventually, I would love to end up on his radar, though. I would laugh so effing hard. I would laugh. First off, I'd be excited because I do like his content. But if Asmund Gould reacted to one of my stupid videos, I would laugh so hard because he's the man. Beeswax says, I'm here to be your lawyer. Major General Tao says, yes. Yeah, to be to attract a new audience. So one of the things is if I can attract a new audience, I think a call to action during a live stream, I think tapping like is the best way to do it. So you could either tap subscribe, tap like, right? But I think tapping like, I think encouraging people to tap like would be better. Yes, Asmund Gould is the dude. Yep, Asmund Gould is the dude. Zombie Guy. So Zombie Guy is this weird dude on vertical streams where he's like, Izzy, here's how I talk the whole time. I talk because I like a rapper, and that's how he talks the entire stream. I don't mind what look. I'm not a fan of the Zombie Guy's content. In fact, I think it sucks. But he knows that there's a specific audience of people who have brain rot. Because I think when you're on vertical live YouTube, not everybody has brain rot, but I think a lot of people, for the most part, I'd say maybe 60 to 70% of people who are on vertical lives. I'm not saying you guys are in that level, right? But I do respect what he's doing because he knows how to rage bait, right? So many people want to hate on this guy, right? And it's brilliant. It's because he knows that people are going to hate him, right? So if you know that you have a very hateable personality, you can work within those bounds, because there are a lot of people who will watch or who will like and subscribe something. Well, not always like it, but they'll actually do something associated with it, right? And sometimes they'll subscribe to it. And because they subscribe, or they'll like it or something, if they truly want to see more of it, they'll want to see more of it, whether they want to see more just to hate it or see more just because they like it, And that really depends. That is the rub, for me personally. And I don't know what's going on down there still. I think they're finally done doing their little party or whatever. Which, honestly, it's public park. Good for them doing their party. But it's just like, it was weird, like, a bunch of kids start running out here. And I'm like, what the... But no, it's cool, though. But yeah, no, respecting the hustle, absolutely. But yeah, no, the dude, what's his nuts? The Zombie Guy. Yeah, he figured it out. He figured out that the stupider you are on the stream, the better the result will be. So I kind of realized that the stupider I get on the stream, it actually ends up being for the better. But yeah, also, like I said, more likes equals more subscribers eventually, right? Because I already have you guys as subscribers. You guys, because if I have tap subscribe on there, a lot of subscribers are already watching the show. But if I have tap like, it does encourage not only the people who are subscribed to tap like on there, but it will also encourage the algorithm to push this show out to more viewers. So me encouraging people to tap like instead of subscribe actually might be for the betterment of the show. What do you guys think to that? What do you guys think about that? Because I think encouraging the likes can encourage people to come back to the show, right? That's my philosophy on it, at least. I might be a little bit off on that one. I might, but I just figure if I get a ton of people subscribed, a ton of people that are not subscribed suddenly viewing it, that is more opportunity for subscribership. So I might be onto something, or on something, one or the other. But I also could alternate on my. So I do have the Nightbot rotating messages, in which those messages will rotate, and when they do rotate, one of the things I noticed is, for instance, I could have like one that says tap like, and then I could have another one that rotates tap subscribe. Now they are sent out at random intervals, which is really neat. So I really enjoy that aspect of it. But yeah, I think tapping like will actually allow me to get more of an audience than I actually thought possible. Also, it's more of an opportunity to get random gifts, like what Random Guy is doing, by the way. Random Guy, my biological stepson, who I also call my biological stepdaughter, he just gave me a ton of hundreds. I appreciate that. Thank you, Ty Lord. So Skid Gear is saying, stream yourself calling people lazy for not putting their shopping cart back. That would be funny, actually. I'm thinking of Cartnark. I think Tim Smith showed me Cartnark, by the way. And Cartnark is hilarious. But I'm like one of those guys that if you don't put your shopping cart back, you're not the worst person in the world. Like, I know everybody's like, it shows who you are as a human being if you don't put your shopping cart back. It's like, I don't know. I mean, I put my shopping cart back, but I'm not going to be a total Karen if I see some Karen not put their shopping cart back, because I really don't give a shit at the end of the day. It's not like they're, going out murdering people. Yeah, it's not the end of the world. Anyway, so random guy on YouTube, my biological stepson, says, "How goes it, brother?" Dude, just feeling good in the park. I'm a little hungover because I drank with, I was drinking with my pops. I was drinking with my brother. I was drinking with Mr. Cody Slack. My brother's girlfriend, I got to meet. That she's really cool. I'm very happy. He's got, all I can say is praying that it lasts. Praying for, I'm not even religious, but for the most part, but I'm sort of religious. I don't know. I'm agnostic for the most part, but I lean a little on the, I'm not going to over-explain myself. Anyway, I pray that it's a good relationship for him, man. Oh yeah, and I drank some water last night. I drank a little bit of water this morning. So I'm feeling hydrated, but yeah, I definitely got like a 5. It's making my facial hair actually grow. I don't know. Oh my god, maybe the alcohol's forcing testosterone to pump in my body for once. Let's see, Cart Narc here. Yeah, Cart Narc, man. But yeah, I'm actually probably, I'm gonna drink some water when I get home. I'm not gonna like stay out here super duper long, but I need to get outside, get a little fresh air. Sitting just amongst the trees, by the way, even coming to the park and sitting next to the tree, for example, it means a lot, man. It means a lot. But yeah, so I think I am going to change the call to action, though, you guys. You guys have inspired me a little bit. I think just simply putting tap like, I think will encourage people to tap the like button. And then we'll also, that will increase my like ratio on the channel as well, because for a while it was kind of sitting low. Doing more short videos that are not too crazy, I think, is a good thing. Aaron Russell says, random guy is Garza larva. I could speak to that. I am larvae. I am a larva. I'm a brony brother. I'm a brony, dude. I am larva. Hell yeah. I'm a brony brother. And all y'all my brony sisters, alright? But yeah, I think liking a video does help it in the algorithm a little bit more than actually subscribing. While it's nice to get more subscribers, do not get me wrong. I love getting more subscribers on this channel. But at the same time, I do understand that getting more subscribers naturally can sometimes be a better situation. So getting more likes on the video can push it out to more people. And hopefully they're just as susceptible to push the like button as well. So a call to action for people to push the like button can spread it out like wildfire, right? So we want to spread out the show naturally. The best way to do it is like, because it does surprisingly help that algorithm. But I think my biological stepson can attest that I am larvae. I am larva. I am. Oh, but yeah, I think I am gonna go to the store real quick. I realize I'm just out of bread at the moment, so I do gotta get a little bit of bread. I got rice and stuff, but happy poop, y'all. Nate Dogg just sent happy poop yum yums to me, my boy. But yeah, like I said, I'm a little hungover, so I might even go. Because I haven't been drinking much lately, but yeah, I had like 5 or 6 shots with my brother and Slack. Nate Dogg says, nice to see after 3 months. you've got some stubble peeking out. Now, granted, look at that. See, I might even let it grow. You know, I think I might let it grow out. You know, I'll let a goatee grow out. But yeah, so I do every time I'm in the shower, dude. I get my Gillette razor and I shave, dude. I shave, right? So that's why I always have the. But you know, maybe if I started to look more like someone you see on Chris Hansen's show, maybe more people would like the show. That's what I'm thinking. But yeah, I got a little bit of stubble. Feeling it, dude. I'm feeling it. But yeah, I'm thinking about switching it up to tap like instead of tap subscribe for the call to action. So I think that'll actually help quite a bit. Nate Dogg says all that frosting must be accelerating the growth. But Nathan, like I say, I shave like every 2 days. I like shave my face completely. When I'm in the shower, I shave under here. Although the last 2 days I've been lazy as shit about my shaving. I've just been like, get in the shower, wash my hair. But yeah, this is, I mean, you see it growing in. So I'll tell you what, you guys, just so we can prove Nate Dogg wrong, all right, my boy Nate Dogg, that I can grow a full manly beard, as manly as it could be. I'm going to grow it out for maybe about a week. Now, Nathan says this is 3 months of growth. Granted, he's probably right. But worked on this for almost a year. But no, I do shave every day. Like, I have a Gillette razor. I like having that clean shaven feel, dude. I kind of like the look too. It makes me feel like a James Bond sort of figure. Also, like I grew up watching like Captain Picard and Captain Kirk. You notice that Captain Kirk had no facial hair. Captain Picard had no facial hair. I mean, they could obviously grow their facial hair, right? But I mean, I did see Riker. You know, Riker had the full out beard. So when I do grow out a beard, which is very rare, by the way, I do tend to try to go with the Riker look, preferably. And yeah, so Nate Dogg's onto something, you know. Let's see. Glizzy Breath said, what is Glizzy, by the way? I'm assuming it has something to do with semen. So Glizzy Breath says, I enjoy freezing a glizzy and sucking it till it unfreezes, then bunning it out and eating a... Dude, what is glizzy semen? Are you guys talking... Dude, is glizzy jizz? Are you talking about semen? Is that what you're talking about? Come on, man. Let's see. Nate Dogg says, what's your opinion on Stargate? I started the movie last night and fell asleep. It's a hot dog. Let's see. Oh. So a glizzy is actually a hot dog? And it's not like semen? Okay. So my opinion on Stargate is, Stargate for me, I thought it was a great movie. I never really got into the series though. I felt like the series was a little overplayed. But the movie, by the way, the Stargate movie is fantastic. If you've never seen the Stargate movie before, I do recommend giving it a full watch. It may not be your cup of tea. I like it. Is it my favorite sci-fi movie of all time? No, but I don't really put it in my top 5 by any means. Well, it comes close to, I don't know. I don't even know what my top 5 would be, to be honest. But if I did have a top 5 for sci-fi movies, I feel like it wouldn't reach top 5. It would be close, though. I feel like it would get close. But I don't think it would be top 5. But it's definitely a quality movie. I like it. I like the story. It's a trippy story. You know, I think it'd be up your alley. I even think you might like the show. The Stargate show. I think you'd probably like that as well. All I know is I'm happy that Scott Bakula is coming back for Star Trek. I guess he's going to be in that new show. I don't think it's Star Trek Academy, but I do think it's like Star Trek something. It's I guess it's President Jonathan Archer. President Jonathan Archer. I'm President Archer. I was formerly captain of the Enterprise, but yeah, no. So I guess it's I don't know what the storyline's even about. All I know is that Scott Bakula's back in the Star Trek universe, which is something that we've all been creaming our panties for a while. We've been wanting our Captain Archer back. It's been a long road, but where I'm really excited to see getting from there to here, to see Captain Archer President Archer make his debut on this new Star Trek series. I don't know what it's called. I forgot what it was called. I don't think it's Star Trek. Nate Dogg says, "Where are you going for bread?" Most likely, I'm going to be going to McKay's. I decided, I was like, I just want to go to the closest place I can, and I was like, I want to go get some McKay's. Go to McKay's, get some bread. Might check out their deli. I'm thinking about it, but I'm also probably just going to get some bread and probably go and make a sandwich at home for a bit and kind of chill and relax. And very eventful weekend, though, I'll say, because like I said, I have a mild hangover, and while I'm at McKay's, I'll probably end up getting what do you call it? Probably like a tall boy Coors Light or something like that. So I'm thinking, so bread and a tall boy Coors Light is what sounds really good to me, right? But yeah, it's usually the easier way to do it for me, at least. But yeah, you guys, I think I figured out YouTube. I figured out that tap like might be more powerful than tap subscribe. We'll see, though. I mean, worst case scenario, the experiment fails after a week, and I just go back to tap subscribe, and that's fine. It's a call to action, but yeah, I'm thinking I probably might get a Coors or something like that, maybe. And by the way, this is not a promotion. Nate Dogg says, "Why not both?" Why not both? Are you talking about putting the bread in the Coors? I don't know how I feel about that, man. Like and subscribe. Okay, you're talking about the like and I thought you were talking about Coors Light and bread. Okay, so I was gonna say the reason, because I was looking it up, and that people who are gooning on live stream tend to actually not do either, because if you ask somebody to do too many actions, 2 or more actions, can actually result in more detriment. So you actually do have to pick and choose from what I've seen. If you tell them to take action, it's got to be one or the other. Sadly, it can't be both, because it's actually least effective to do both, because they're going to like and subscribe. I'm going to do neither. They're going to rebel a little bit. So if you tell them to do one concrete action, which in a lot of ways, yes, exactly, dude. Sadly, that's the truth. Unfortunately, with marketing, the majority of people who are on these types in marketing is more psychology than anything. But the majority of people who go on vertical lives, if you tell them to do more than one action, they're going to get pissed. Internally speaking, because think about it this way: we live in a world where everything is literally just handed to us, and that we have to take one action, right? So if somebody sees tap like on there, they're gonna be like, okay, tap like, and that's it. Now, if they see tap subscribe and that's the only thing on there, they're gonna be like, oh, tap subscribe. Now, does it help me? Yes, but I'm thinking, based on how the YouTube algorithm works, that if I just tell people to tap like, that may be better overall. And I'm sorry I'm getting so intense, but like I'm just like yeah. But I like getting really close to the camera, as if like I'm looking into people's souls. I do like doing that one thing where it's like but yeah, anyway, I gotta brush my teeth this morning too. I realized they're a little yellow this morning. But yeah, I'm a little hungover right now. I definitely know that, yeah, sometimes the best way for me to cure a hangover is a little more water, but also like a light beer sometimes helps. Yeah, so with Nightbot, I was thinking about just having, because I have 4 rotating messages through Nightbot that come up every 15 minutes. And I could rotate between the pinned messages, but I'm thinking that if I encourage more people to like the stream, that I think it would actually be better for the algorithm, because the more likes, the more it pushes the stream itself out to more people. And if there is a higher like than dislike ratio, so like for instance, if there's like 95% likes versus dislikes, then YouTube is more apt to put this stream out into the eyes of more people. So my focus, while I do want more subscribers, yes, my primary focus, based on how the YouTube algorithm works, as we're working within this framework, is to encourage people to like versus encourage people to subscribe. I'll still encourage people to subscribe, obviously, but I think that if I can encourage people to like this stream first and foremost, that would be the key. That's a good one too. So I could do like something like, yeah, like equals stock, subscribe equals bond. So that's another way to do a poll, actually. That'd be a fun way to do a poll. Like the video if you prefer stocks, subscribe to the show if you prefer bonds. That'd be funny. I don't know if anybody prefers bonds anymore. I would hope that people are more educated these days and not prefer bonds, but you know, you never know. I do like the guaranteed yield from bonds, but that's about the extent of it. I'm going off on a tangent now, but yeah, I'm gonna go probably just walk to McKay's. It's within striking. Luckily, McKay's is super close, and gonna get that bread, get that Coors Light. I'm gonna be doing just a little more streaming. My presence is cold water on algos. But no, I think if you work within the framework of YouTube, I mean, YouTube will reward you. So obviously I'm not going to copy what everybody else is doing, but if I can market it better on the algorithm itself, and you know, I'm learning a lot about marketing, by the way. I realize that I'm becoming a better marketer by doing YouTube a little bit more often, you know what I mean? And I think that's really helping. So the more YouTube stuff I do, the better. And more research I do too. Instead of me making all these mistakes, the old saying goes, a wise man learn. Is it a fool? A fool learns from his own mistakes. A wise man learns from other people's mistakes. So essentially, the wise man learns from other fools who eventually became the wise men. So sometimes you do have to become the fool to become the wise man. We're getting into some weird philosophy, everybody, but yeah. So when it comes to philosophy-wise, I think to really become a wise man quickly, from fool to wise man, you have to learn from other fools' mistakes, right? Ignorant people can learn, stupid people can't. Now, I think, you know, I don't think everybody's too dumb. I just think that people can be too lazy for their own good and not try to maximize potential. That is what I think. And I notice I get lazy. It's tough for me because I get real lazy sometimes. And to the point of like, I have to convince myself to do something for 2 minutes. Like I use the 2-minute rule. So like sometimes I don't want to do dishes, but I'll be like, okay, I'll tell myself, look, you're only going to be doing dishes for about 2 minutes, right? 2 minutes, that's all. And then what happens is I'll end up doing all the dishes. But I convince my brain that I'll only be doing it for 2 minutes. Therefore, taking a hard task that your brain wants to avoid. And then once you start doing the action, then you're like, okay, well, I'm already here. I'm already doing this. Let's finish this up, right? So if you only tell yourself you're going to do something for like about 2 minutes, sometimes you can kind of trick the lazier side of yourself to do something that's a lot tougher. That's what I've noticed, at least. It's called the 2-minute rule. Because if you tell yourself, I'm only going to be doing it for 2 minutes, and then I'm out, right? Or just, I'm only going to be doing it for 2 minutes. It'll be fine, you know? And then, because your brain will respond to a shorter amount of time. Be like, okay, we're not spending a lot of time on this. Thank goodness. That's what your subconscious is probably saying. I'm not a neural expert by any means. But I do know a few tricks that at least make it to where I'm not as lazy as I normally would be. I would say that probably the 2-minute rule has helped me out when it comes to not being as lazy as I typically would be. Because, dude, I'm telling you guys, I could be one lazy son of a bitch. Trust me. Even though I'm working my ass off a lot of the time, I can fall into a lazy pit. It's probably why I work like I do. Because I'm afraid if I get too lazy and too complacent, man, I will. It's probably a defect. It's probably a defect in my mind, but it's something that I've considered, you know. So, all right, you guys. Anyway, I appreciate you guys on the stream. I appreciate the $2 super chat, though. I appreciate the happy poop yum yum from my boy Nate Dogg. I appreciate my biological stepson Ty Lord getting on here and sending me some sexiness. And yeah, and I'll catch you step bronies later. We'll be step bronies forever. But no, I will be at home at some point. I gotta do some dishes. Probably will do dishes. I don't know. It depends on how. I might use I might have to use the 2-minute rule to convince myself to do dishes when I get home. Just saying. I try not to let what I'm doing on the streaming affect my stuff that I have to do at home, because it has to be done. You know. I got to do the damn dishes, man. Got to do the dishes. I think this is what the stream's about. It's me wrestling with the dishes. Let's see. Kyle Donahue says, "Why does Biddy possibly lose your investment in Robinhood? Why does Biddy still exist?" I don't know, because it's a leveraged ETF, and it's, you know, it's one of those things that it's not meant to be a long-term holding. Biddy is primarily meant to be like a what do you call it? It's a leveraged ETF, but it's meant for more short-term trading. Now, I personally, I use the SBIT now more than the Biddy, and I buy the Biddy on the dip usually. Yeah, well, here's the thing: is the leveraged ETFs play by different rules, man. They play by different rules. Let's see. Aaron Russell says it's all about the grift. Jeremy Lafufu pretends to buy 50K in a new stock every day. Oh yeah, dude. Jeremy LeBabe, dude. That guy's my favorite grifter, though. Yeah, I mean, well, no, I mean, like, it won't all disappear at one moment. I'm just saying that the value of the ETF can degrade over time. So value degradation can happen, is what it's basically trying to tell you. But anyway, I'll catch you all later. I'm out. I'm gonna go get my bread. Basically, the value can degrade over time, over a long period of time, because a lot of the contracts that they're getting into are short term, and so there can be value lost depending on how long like if Bitcoin kept going up and up and up like on a bull run, you know, things can happen, you know. Anyway, though, I'll catch you all later. All right.